1988.
I was there.
Were you?
I was,
In
yeah.
1988?
Yeah, I graduated in 90, yeah. I was
Did
there.
they win in 88?
Yeah, and I watched them beat Michigan too.
We are live every.
He doesn't remember.
I do.
I'm just telling you.
And I debate whether he graduated.
But I'm gonna say, being at that game, and I'm with my stepson, who played for IU as a walk-on. And his mother is awfully, awfully proud of him back when he did that. I didn't know him back then. But I made the comment that I felt like Indiana could have beat Purdue about 120-3 if they would have just passed and not run the ball. But my stepson Andrew, he thinks Coach Signetti didn't want to show all his cards Friday night. And so we'll see. We'll see. I think Ohio State better be ready
Oh, I think it's gonna be.
Saturday night. It might be interesting. So anyway.
And our sponsor is Premier Ag Co-op.
Are we ready and alive
You guys are
and
live.
we're recording?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So those of you who had just joined us, we're signing off the football show and going to start the government show. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The first day of December, this morning, 2025. Hard to believe, 11 months of this year has passed, and this one will be a blink as well. Commissioner of Finance will lead us in invocation of pledge. If you can rise and stand in this room, please do so.
Our Heavenly Father, we bow our heads this morning and give thanks for this beautiful December morning in which we could come to town and participate in county government. Enjoyed our Thanksgiving holiday this past week, and we are very thankful and grateful for all the blessings that we receive as citizens of the United States of America. We are mindful of the great responsibilities that each of us have as citizens and ask that we will all do our part in all of our actions. Please be with us today and help us to make good decisions. These things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Larry.
You're very welcome.
First item on our agenda is approval of last week's
I'll move
minutes.
to approve our minutes.
Second.
Motion by Larry and a second to approve those minutes. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Next up is our weekly reports. A lighter week last week, 11 permits issued, fees collected, $1,517. And the estimated value of construction, $326,132. This report's always available up in code enforcement. If the public would care to take a look. Our next item is our county highway report. Our engineer's with us, Danny Hollander. Good morning, Danny.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Danny.
Mr. Chairman, could I request that the board direct me to open the bids so I can go through those and have those ready for the last part of the meeting?
I would direct our attorney to open those bids this morning. Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Danny.
All I have is, last week's, crew report. We did, sidewinding on 425 East, and then we, took sidewinder back to what we borrowed, and we didn't break it, so we didn't have to do anything. We did some, work on White Horse Road, and we put salt boxes in all the trucks, and then, thing we did was we had 4 trucks out Saturday night, hitting some roads.
Did that slide finish out well?
Yeah.
Finish.
Well, we just got it wedged. We're gonna
Okay.
have to, the whole road's getting overlaid, but they weren't gonna be able to get that, but we got, where the slide was
Okay.
wedged, so we'll be able to get through the winter.
That's good. It'll actually be a better product by waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, they wedged that and 800 North last week, where we've been taking that tile out of the middle of the road, so we got that, so we don't have to deal with our gravel road on, all winters. That's all I have.
Okay, Danny, any questions for Dan? Okay, thank you. Our next item on the agenda, we have a item here with Amanda Organist, our Director of Nursing out at the Health Department. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning.
What are we doing here this morning?
So, I was approached by someone with the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute regarding the automotive safety program, child safety seat partner inspection station, agreement. So they found out that we are already providing these services. So they approached and asked if we would like to join forces with them. They would provide us with 16 car seats a month. So what the criteria is for this agreement is that we have to have 2 certified child passenger safety technicians, and we actually have 4. We have to be available 10 hours a month for car seat checks. And as you know, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, so we will do those any day. We submit the car seat inspection reports online, so whenever the gals inspect a car seat, there's paperwork, of course, that has to be done. So
Amanda, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
On that inspection, is that a voluntary? That's where someone comes in and says, hey, can you inspect my seat to make sure it meets the requirements?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and so we ask everyone when they come in, ages 8 and under. I mean, if somebody is older and they're a little smaller, they might still need a booster seat.
Okay.
So we ask every parent, and then the word's gotten out that we do that. So some people just call us and make that appointment. But yeah, it's to make sure the car seat's in properly, it fits the kid. So, I mean, I feel like I'm an intelligent person, but I know for sure after hearing about this program and the things that girls look for, my kiddo wasn't in correctly.
Well, my dad always made me sit in my car seat.
Yeah, it's important. So just because I've already gotten sidetracked, for this year so far, we've inspected 49.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we have found, we've distributed 30. So that's, they were in the wrong kind of car seat, didn't fit them properly, or it was expired, or someone just didn't have a car seat and didn't realize that Indiana law says that kids should be restrained.
Amanda, you said
So-
it brings you 16 car seats a month. This organization is giving the county 16 car seats?
Yeah, so we'll start out with 16 and say in December, I mean, they won't get it to us in December, I'm sure, but say they gave us 16, but we gave out 8, then the next month they would replace the 8. So we would not get.
Who's paying for them?
So this is part of the, hold on, let me find it, the automotive safety program.
Is it through the state?
Nope, it's through the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, and I'm a little stuffy today too.
No cost on the behalf of the county.
No cost, no monies transaction. Anybody that would be eligible for a car seat.
There's been a settlement, has to have been a settlement where they're required to provide something like that. And then they voluntarily do it to settle the suit.
And so someone would come in and ask for a car seat, or would they come in and inspect one? You say, no, yours doesn't pass. Here's one.
Yeah, so to be eligible for a car seat, there has to be a need, like they do not have one, or it's the wrong one. They need to attest that they are on Medicaid or WIC or something showing their state assistance, be a resident of Indiana, and be the primary caregiver. So grandma that babysits can't come in and say, I need a car seat, unless she's the primary caregiver.
So it's not for a backup. This is for
Correct.
one that you need a good car seat. This is a good one.
Yeah, and we don't just give them out. So if somebody says, oh, I just found out I'm pregnant, I'm calling the health department to get a car seat. We have to have the child so that they can measure them, weigh them, and make sure it's the proper fit. And you have to show that you actually have a need.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okey doke.
Carl, I'll make a motion that we approve that consideration of a service agreement for Bartholomew County Health Department nursing.
Second.
I've got a motion from Larry and a second to enter into this service agreement for the health department concerning an automotive safety program that they've been aware of and using. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you,
day.
Amanda.
Stay warm.
And if anybody has ever tried to take a car seat out and put it back in another car, you'd almost want to drive to the health department and have them do it, wouldn't you, TA?
Yes, sir.
Because it can be a very frustrating experience trying to get the belts in the cracks where they need to be and get it hooked up right. So anyway. Next item, we have first reading, consideration of an ordinance creating a fixed asset capitalization and inventory policy. And that'll be for Bartholomew County. This will be ordinance 2025-09. And this is partially to, I guess, make Bartholomew County aware of the assets we have, but more importantly, the State Board of Accounts, the last several years in our yearly audit, have not been real happy with us on this item, have they, Pia?
This is something that we've needed to do for some time, and I've had a chance to look over this policy, and it looks accurate as to what State Board of Accounts was asking us to make sure that we had in place.
And this predates PA. It's not the
Yeah.
current.
No,
It's
this
not
has been
anything
going on for
current.
ages.
I mean, it goes back 20 years.
And part of this, we delayed it somewhat because we wanted to institute a new financial system, which we've done now. So this is the extension of that. So this policy is accurate. It covers everything that State Board of Accounts asked us to do. It doesn't talk about with our procurement policy about having to make sure that we look at, it doesn't refer to our procurement policy. So that's something I would like to see in this. It also makes reference to a vendor that we look towards using, but you've not approved that contract yet. So I would maybe either ask that we approve that contract in tandem with this, or that we, refer to the vendor as a vendor that helps us with this fixed asset policy. It makes it more vague in this policy rather than making the policy be specific to the vendor. Does that make sense?
It does. And including a vendor. Proof is in the pudding. It's been easy to neglect this. So the State Board of Accounts wants us to have a law so that in neglecting it, we're breaking the law. So I think we mention a vendor in verbiage, but not specifics.
Right, yeah, that's
So-
what I would.
We'll have a second reading so we can add that.
The part I don't understand is this includes infrastructure. We're supposed to value
Yep.
our roads?
Bridge, yeah,
Yes, because those are county
All
assets.
700 miles, yes.
yeah, it's a big deal.
Do they have a format for doing that? They do?
Data pit stuff does, yeah,
Okay.
is my understanding.
There's six,
I mean, we gotta start somewhere and, you know, I could get in the weeds talking about accounting policy for eons, longer than we can talk about
Yeah,
football.
we don't get in the weeds in this meeting, so
Yeah.
please don't.
Right. So it's kind of my thought is when you come up with your fixed asset capitalization and you roll it out at first, you're kind of just throwing darts to come up with values because they're historical values. And it's like, how do you value the quarter? I mean, because accounting policy, you'd go with historical cost.
Like what it costs to build?
Yeah, what it costs to build, and then you'd add on the costs
of improvements.
of improvements, and then there's depreciation and all that. I mean, I'd have to have another 8-year term to be able to come up with that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it, can't do it. Law doesn't allow me to do it. So it's like, okay, we'll come up with something to start with, and then we'll build from there.
Yeah, as I sit right here thinking, just think about the Azalea Bridge. And it was probably built for, back in the day, $1.5 million. I don't know, making a guess. So is it valued at $1.5 million? Or is it valued at about 7 or 8 million? Cause that's what it costs to replace it today. And right now it's doing the job.
Well, it'd be valued for accounting purposes at its historic cost.
See,
So what we paid for it.
But, and I know how
then
insurance,
depreciate.
insurance companies work, and we have lost bridges in the past, where we've had floods that have wiped out bridges. So if we built this bridge 20 years ago and it cost us $250,000, you depreciate that over 60 years. And so we're 30 years into the life of that bridge. It is wiped out. Now the insurance companies will go to this document and they'll say, hey, this is all we owe you. You put it in at 250, it's 30 years depreciated. We're gonna pay you half that.
Well, that's where your insurance is different than your historical cost.
Well, we need to make sure that we cover that, or we ought to have an escalator in it.
But we also want to make sure that everything that we're insuring are things that we own, and that everything we own is being insured.
Okay,
And
we'll
so
look at,
this is to help with that.
all right,
But the valuation
let's think about that.
is totally different. I mean, like the amount that I paid for my house
Mhm.
in 6 years ago is less than what I have it insured for now.
Right. Okay, we'll look at that because we need to be careful. Because we will have claims in the future,
Oh, yeah.
bridge claims, road claims,
But-
buildings.
But we want to make sure that we don't confuse the accounting with the insurance valuation, because they're two
Okay.
separate
All right,
things.
right.
this ordinance is to increase accuracy and clarity of financial reporting for Bartholomew County. And
Carl?
there's 6 points under that. I'll go ahead and read all 6 points, then we won't have to do it next week. One is to safeguard the investments of the taxpayers of Bartholomew County. Number two, to comply with the standards of the Government Accounting Standards Board Statement 34. Number three is to fix responsibility for the custody of the assets. Number four is to maintain accurate records of all fixed assets that are capitalized, including infrastructure. Number five, to provide date for financial reporting for increased accuracy and clarity. And number six, to demonstrate appropriate stewardship responsibility for public assets.
Carl, before we move on for
Public hearing.
public hearing, Pia, will we have to revisit this every year?
No.
Well, and what makes me, how will we amend the actual accounting, for lack of a better word? Because we build new roads, we take roads out of service, we buy new buildings, we sell buildings, the list, is this just the policy, or is
This
this,
is just the policy.
this is not the actual
Exactly.
process,
Exactly.
accounting procedure?
Correct.
Is that
It's
right?
Just the policy.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, the accounting will be done following this policy. But every time that we make an accounting entry, we don't have to change the policy.
Okay.
Tony, help me remember.
It's just like your policy for procurement. Every time we buy something, we don't have to change the policy.
No.
But the process for making purchases follows the policy.
But like our insurance policy that we look at every year, we need to keep track of, how many cars did we take out of service? How many cars did we put in service?
Right.
We're gonna have to stay on top of this.
This will be a tool that will definitely help with that and with other things. And, it gives a better understanding then of our balance sheet. And that's what State Board of Accounts is somewhat concerned with, because we haven't been reporting our fixed assets as accurately as we need to for our balance sheet, essentially.
Okay.
This is an ordinance. So we are here this morning for first reading. And so I will open the floor and Zoom land, anyone wishing to speak for or against this item. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, your wishes.
I would make a motion to approve this ordinance 2025-09 on first reading regarding a fixed asset capitalization and inventory policy.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Tony and a second to approve this ordinance 2025-09 on first reading. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. And we will have second reading next Monday on December 8th. Thank you. Next item, we've got an item with our IT director, Scott Mays. Scott, you want to speak to this
Yes, thank you.
briefly?
Yeah, we would like to request to continue our partnership with Dart Points, formerly known as Data Cave here in Columbus, Indiana. They provide our co-location services, our storage and compute infrastructure for all of the county. And so this is a 3-year term renewal with a slight monthly increase of $540. This is the first increase that we've had in the 15+ year partnership we've had with them. So I find it reasonable, and for the services they provide, we are demanding more power resources and more space resources than originally contracted. So I think this is a well-presented renewal.
Scott, just out of curiosity, what was their first quote?
the first quote of,
for their renewal.
I don't remember the exact amount, but it was, almost double. Yeah.
Scott earns his money around here.
Yeah, well, you know, we worked together, we found some things that, they were providing that we didn't need anymore and just made some adjustments and got that price a little more realistic.
This agreement is a 3-year term, so it goes from 2026 to 2028. And again, that monthly cost is $2,775.
I'd make a motion that we approve this renewal with Dart Points for Bartholomew County IT Department.
I'll second.
$2,775 a month, 3-year contract.
I've got a motion from Tony and a second to enter into this renewal agreement with Dart Points. Again, $2,775 per month, 3-year term. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Scott, thank you for your work on that.
Next item, we have consideration of a petition to the Bartholomew County Drainage Board to make a mutual drain a regulated drain. And we touched on this briefly last week in our rezoning request by a group, and that's up in German Township.
Carl, we
And-
have never done this.
Uh,
You and I have never done this.
No.
Tony, you've never done it. I've never done this.
So we, the county commissioners, are going to petition the drainage board to make a mutual drain a regulated drain. And this is up again in German Township. It is approximately 1,520 feet. Starts in the west ditch of US 31. Says 100 feet northwest of the center line of a driveway at 9600 North US 31. Then it kind of continues west northwesterly, following an existing open ditch, goes to the south property line of the Lawrence A. Fowler Revocable Trust property. And again, it's going to be about 1,520 feet. And one thing we found out in this was that any citizen can petition the drainage board for drainage work.
If they
In
have
the county.
property, but they have.
If they gotta, they have to own the property.
And we, as the county taxpayers, own right of way and a county road that's
Yep.
affected.
So the drainage board itself could not do this. But we, as the county commissioners, can,
Because the taxpayers own property.
because yes. So anyway.
Can we talk a little bit to the importance of this? Because I think a lot of people understand that the water in that area tends to just stay right in that area. There's a lot of development going on in that area. The Grillos and Kings Hawaiian on the east side of 31. Then on the west side, there's some more building that's going in development going on the west side of 31, kind of back in behind the gas station and the Waffle House and back in that area all the way to 65. And then we were just here last week approving the rezoning for a 200 to 300 unit mixed housing and commercial area to the south of Tanny Hill Road and west of 31. It's a very flat area, very, almost no drop, but also, there's nowhere for the water to go.
And what ditches are there, nobody has taken care of in the last
70 years.
70, 80
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
and they're silted in and.
So in the process of the development, extra precaution has been taken to deal with the stormwater. To the north of Tanny Hill Road, there's a plan. There's a pipe under Tanny Hill Road leading to the south, but it kind of hits a wall there at that new housing development. But they're going to contain all their water, but there has to be a place for that water to go. Once it's, reached the top of the retention
Right.
ponds. And they put in a lot of effort to retain that water, but we're looking to find a way for that water to leave that area and find its way to the creek 3 miles away, 2 or 3 miles away. It would be very helpful if the state of Indiana would dip their ditches along 31, which they haven't done since they built 31. And, but we're making this effort to really solve a long simmering problem. And we really kind of have to thank Commissioner Kleinhans because he's probably more familiar with that area than any of us could ever be, certainly on this side of the table.
Well, this is a chance to fix it right.
And it's been kicked down, it's just been kind of glossed over.
And there's a
over here.
mechanism in place to keep it open. That's and our surveyor's with us. He might want to say something.
Yeah, anyway, that's,
My suggestion, my only suggestion would be if you guys go forward with this, you need to push NDOT as much as you can. Because we know that the fall in the ditch that you guys are hoping for is very, very shallow. When it gets to NDOT, the NDOT right away at your proposed ditch terminus, it is just as flat. And they, cooperation with what you guys are hoping for, they're gonna have to do a little bit as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll work with us.
I think so.
I'm going to ask our attorney, so if is the proper way to handle this is I'm gonna make a motion that we're going to petition the drainage board to make this a regulated drain. And we'll vote on that, and then this petition will go to the drainage board, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, I'll do that, Carl.
As for the expense, we want to talk about that a minute.
We think, I don't know, Tom is kind of shooting from the hip. Tom Finke, our hydrologist. I think in round figures, he feels like that $100,000 will clean this.
The biggest expense is
Go
what to
ahead.
do with the dirt.
Yeah, well, yeah, the dirt and the rubbish, not really rubbish, trees. We've got, it is funny, there aren't huge trees. There's no 40 or 50 footers there. But boy, there's a lot of 25-foot trees. Willows and junky stuff that, probably the biggest expense honestly is going to be trucking the material out. I think really an excavator, expense will be less than, trucking it out. In most normal projects, we'd either burn or chip the trees right on the spot, and the dirt would get just scattered on the spot. But this situation probably won't allow for either one of those things to occur right there alongside the ditch. So there'll be a lot of trucking involved. So I'd make a motion that we petition the drainage board to make this mutual drain, a regulated drain up there in German Township.
Second.
Motion by myself and a second to petition the Drainage Board to consider this mutual drain and make it a regulated drain. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried.
When I talked about the expense, typically when something like this happens, it would be the cost of doing it would be an assessment for all the neighboring property owners. Is that correct?
Typically.
And we're saying that we're going to cover the expense for the actual process. But going forward, there could be and probably will be a small assessment for maintenance down the road. I know, like, in my property, we had a $15 a year assessment for the drain that goes back behind our property, and everybody along that drain chipped in for that, so.
Carl, we need to check into that. That's probably
These
too
always
low for
are
Tony.
small expenses though.
Well, the maintenance is, and of course it has to do with how much property you own.
But it can be hundreds of dollars a night.
It could be.
Yep. Yeah, house lots typically, Drainage Board, $12, $15. It maybe varies on the ditch in Bartholomew County. But house lots, 3 acres or less are generally assessed at a flat rate like that. And whereas acreage is typically assessed at a per acre fee. So anyway. That brings us to opening here some proposals. So I'll turn it over to our attorney, and you're gonna read us some year-end bids for both highway materials, and then the final item will be any proposals for our storage building. Go ahead, Jim.
The first item we have is for crushed stone. We have a bid from US Aggregates. That goes through the 15 different stones. All the bid documents are in order, and I would advise to take our advisements so that Danny can review the numbers. I mean, there's 15 different stones.
What's tonnage price, Jim? Throw one out. It's amazing what crushed stone
53s.
costs now.
53s are $11.30.
Okay.
73s is $11.30.
Eights or threes.
The NDOT riprap is $15. And so interesting, number 8 stone, $17.25, but Indiana Department of Transportation, number 8 stone is $18.50. So.
Yes,
They
crushed
range
stone
from-
has really gotten high. Everything has, but.
Right. The 53s are $12.60, so the cheapest is special fill, $7.50. And class 1 NDOT riprap is $33.
53s were 1130,
53s
not the NDOT.
is $11.30. NDOT 53s are $12.60.
Get
Okay,
those specials.
thank you.
I don't
Danny,
know
how
if
does that compare to last year, off the top of your head?
It's probably 25 cents more.
Jim, is that the only one we have for crushed stone?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then on number 2, sand and gravel, we have no qualified bidders. None of the bids were complete. And on number 3, the culvert and piping, we had no qualified bidders. None of the bids were complete. And that puts us to the rebid of the storage facility.
Should we make, should we,
We had one bidder, one qualified bidder, which is Larry Moore Construction, Flat Rock, Indiana, $740,350 and no cents. 740,350.00. And that's the only bid we have. And it was, I would ask to take an advisement also.
I would move that we take all those under advisement.
I'll second.
Motion by Tony and a second to take all those bids under advisement. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. In particularly the year-end bids, for highway materials, we do not award those till, after the first of the year. We might award this storage building here maybe as early as next week. So,
Steve, we changed the completion date on that, didn't we? We put it back a little bit.
We did.
What was that date?
I
Do you
believe
rec-
that's September.
Okay. Yeah.
that's the end of our published agenda, and I have nothing under miscellaneous. Anything to bring before the commissioners this morning? We thank you all for coming.